Hey guys, it's Stacy. I am looking all professional today. It's because I'm doing a new educational video, and today I'm going to talk about TOEFL test because I just keep receiving copious amounts of texts and messages asking me about how to pass TOEFL, about tips for passing that exam. And I just decided to make a video to answer all your questions. I passed the TOEFL test once in my life. I was in Indianapolis. I have to say that everyone's experience is different, and if you passed TOEFL and something was different when you did it, don't bother writing it in the comments. I mean, no one really cares. Everyone's experience is different, so yeah. Basically, I'm just gonna talk about the procedure, and at the end I'm just gonna tell you guys some tips. And don't forget to look in the description box because there will be some useful links there. Okay, so basically, what is TOEFL? It is an exam. Over 9,000 universities worldwide accept TOEFL scores, so it is essential that you take the test in order to get accepted at the universities in Canada or Australia or UK, United States, New Zealand, all the English-speaking countries. Because what the test does is it checks your academic knowledge. So not just English as in social English, the fact that you can speak English, but your ability to actually attend a class and understand everything in English. In order to get a good score, I think you have to have at least a level intermediate or upper intermediate. That's why I think it's a very hard test. When I passed it, I didn't bother even getting ready for a test or preparing or, I don't know, opening a website and looking up the information about it. I had no idea what was going to be in the test. So I only got 97. The maximum score is 120. I think it's still a good score because I got accepted to the university I applied to, but still, I could have done so much better. Don't be me, get ready and get an awesome score. So I'm just gonna say just a couple of facts about TOEFL. There are 4 sections in TOEFL: reading, listening, speaking, and writing. So I think that's the order it goes because I had a friend who passed TOEFL and that's how she did it, and I did it this way, so I think the order is the same. The maximum score, as I said, is 120, so 30 points per each section. I got 20 for reading, 22 for listening, 28 for speaking, and 27 for writing. And here you can see those right here. And also on your score sheet, I guess you can call it that, you're gonna get some information about your performance, skills, level, and yeah, whatever it says what you can do. Yeah, so I got an intermediate for reading, I got high for listening, I got good for speaking, and I got good for writing. TOEFL test is not free, unfortunately. I paid $180 to pass it. I know in Russia you have to pay $250. You can take this test in 130 countries. Pretty impressive. The score is good for 2 years. Don't let it expire because, as I said, it's pretty expensive and you don't want to just pass it for nothing, you know. You can send your scores to 4 colleges for free. So when you get registered on their website, ets.org/TOEFL, just type in the name of the university you want to send it to or a code that the university has. When you get your scores, the university you chose is getting those scores as well. You can send the scores to more than 4 universities and that will cost you $18 per college. It takes 2 weeks to get your scores, which is really good because you don't have to wait too long. When you get registered, you type in your city and then it shows when in your city you can take the test. If you don't see anything showing up, just type the closest, biggest city to you. So I lived in Muncie when I was in America and I typed in Muncie and nothing showed up, but when I typed in Indianapolis, there were lots of dates there, so that's an example. The whole test is about 4 hours long, it depends usually. So your reading section is 60 minutes, then the same as with listening, then you have a break for 10 minutes, and then there's speaking, which is 20 to 30 minutes, and then writing is 50 minutes, and you get 2 writings to do. So these are the facts about TOEFL test. Now I'm going to talk about the procedure. You have to have a photo ID with you, which is a passport or a driver's license, maybe. Well, I took my passport with me. That worked fine. You first show your photo ID, and then you get this paper, which is called the confidentiality document or something like that, and you sign it. And when you sign it, it means that you're not going to tell anyone what you had on your test. I don't know why that is a rule, but that's basically the same thing on SAT an ACT and like any other tests, you sign a paper and you say, I'm not gonna share what just happened here. So yeah. Then after that, you go to the testing room. And I'm talking about TOEFL IBT, by the way, in case you thought I was talking about the paper-based test. Do people even do those anymore? Anyway, when you get to the testing room, there's going to be a lot of computers there. First, come up to the person, you show your photo ID again, they take a picture of you with their little camera on the computer. Then you go to your computer and you find it. Usually the person who's in charge, they just tell you like your computer's down there, and you see your picture, which you just got taken on the screen. You sit down, you do the microphone check, earphone check, so that everything's working. Actually, when I did that, I had to change a pair of headphones because they were not working, and I was really nervous already at that time because I thought, cool, I'm not gonna do well on this test because the freaking headphones are not working. Don't worry about that, just don't get nervous like I did. And basically the test begins right after you complete the check, and the timer starts going, which brings us to the next section of this video, which is tips and advice. So I have to say that I failed my reading task because, well, I got 20 out of 30 for reading. Well, it's because I didn't look it up, I didn't know what was going to be in the test, and I thought there were going to be 2 texts in there, but there were 3. And when I started doing it, I read the text carefully. Because this test is checking your really awesome knowledge for college, the text materials there are really kind of tricky. Academic, I would say, like scientific or whatever. They're hard, so get ready for those. And it took me a while to read the text, and I didn't answer the questions. Then boom, there's another text. I started doing that one. And when I was done with the second text, the third text appeared. I almost was freaking out because, dude, I have 15 minutes left, and then there's this another text here. I was just like randomly putting in the answers. I think that's why I got a bad score. So my tip for you guys is do not read the text first. As an English teacher, I always say when you do the reading task, read the text first, then answer the questions. Well, it's not going to work on your TOEFL exam because you only have an hour to complete 3 texts, which are really hard. They're harder than average text. It's some student book. So just go to the questions right away, and you'll find the answers in the text. So don't bother reading it. It's going to take you a while to try to understand what the hell is going on in the text. I'm not allowed to say what I got on my test because, again, I signed that confidentiality paper. But still, there's lots of science and terminology and that really boring stuff going on. So yeah, you're gonna get frustrated if you don't do that. So just jump right into the question. Don't waste your time. Don't just sit there and, you know, think about things. I know sometimes it happens, like you just want to kind of blank out for a little bit, but don't do that on the TOEFL test because once the timer is out, everything just disappears. The task you were doing is going to be just gone right away. On the listening section, again, because this test is for college students, you're going to listen to some lectures, complex information, so don't get your head blown up. Just get a habit of writing notes, because notes are really going to help you. Be prepared to listen to the text only once. That's actually really cruel because usually in Russia, when we teach English, students get to listen to the text twice. That's why it's kind of hard to focus, you know, and to get everything all at once. You'll get a piece of paper, you'll get a pen there, so you can write notes. Before taking a test, try watching lots of movies or TV shows in English and try watching different ones. So, for example, Australian TV shows, English TV shows, American TV shows, so you can get the accents, because there can be different accents in the TOEFL listening portion. I really don't like how they mess with us like that. I think I had British and I got American accent, which was great, because if I got Scottish or Irish, I'd probably not be able to write anything, to be honest. And when you watch those movies and TV shows, turn off those subtitles. You don't need those. On a TOEFL, you're not going to get any subtitles whatsoever, so just do it in advance. You'll get used to it. Just prepare yourself that way. Don't stress out, don't be nervous. My close friend passed the TOEFL test and she was really, really nervous. She didn't get the score she wanted, and I think that's because she was really nervous and stressed out. It's okay, it's just a test. You can retake it. This is kind of a bad tip because everyone deals with their stress their own way, but just find your nirvana type of thing. You're not gonna die if you don't pass this test, and there's a chance you'll get accepted to university. For example, my college, University of Oregon, their TOEFL score is 88. If you got less than that but bigger than 61, you can still go, but you'll just attend an English language program there before you start your classes. So there's always the solutions, just don't get really nervous about it. Another advice, learn how to type in English on a keyboard, because lots of people, they kind of type in their own language really fast, but when it comes to English, they're kind of slow. You only have 20 and 30 minutes for 2 essays that you've got, and you gotta be able to really type those pretty fast. And one more thing, you're gonna be doing lots of reading from the screen, which is, again, it's a weird tip, but it can be useful because lots of people are not used to reading little letters from the screen. It can be really hurtful to eyes, and you're just used to reading the books. This doesn't sound like a tip, but just practice reading from the screen. As for texts, to prepare your vocabulary, because your vocabulary is going to be put to a test, a massive test, because the amount of vocabulary in TOEFL is just mind-blowing. It's kind of like an SAT. Again, I'm not allowed to say what I had in my writing or in my any other sections. There are lots of terminology going on. It can be astronomy, it can be geology, geography, history, science and physics, anything pretty much. Also, for the listening task, you're going to be listening to lectures. You can hear a conversation between an academic advisor and a student, and they're talking about classes and how they can move them and how they can take electives or something for their major or double major or whatever. That is all college stuff, and if you're not familiar with the American educational system, it's going to be kind of tricky to write down the correct answer. So look that up as well. Learn how to catch really important little details, because they can help you out, and sometimes they ask questions specifically about those little things that you didn't hear, like dates or names or spelling. They can spell some things out for you, so yeah, pay attention and stay focused all the time. Okay, and to prepare for the TOEFL test, there are plenty of sources online. In the description box below, check out a link to an official video which was put out by the ETS organization. It talks about the procedure when you get to the test center and whatever happens next. There'll also be a link to online prep tests which you can use to just kind of get the feeling of TOEFL and what's in there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope this helped. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them. So I'll see you guys in the next video, and I love you all, and bye!